You know how some stories start with a dream? A beautiful new house, a totally fresh start. But what happens when that dream home, well, it's already occupied by someone who never, ever left? This is the chilling story of bungalow number 17.
You know, pretty much every good ghost story starts with a warning, right? It's the kind of thing a friend might say, and you try to just brush it off. But it sticks with you, you can never quite forget it.
But look, for Samir and his family, this wasn't about ghosts or hauntings. It was about hope. It was all about chasing that perfect new beginning in a brand new city.
So let's meet them. We've got Samir, his wife Suman, and their young son, Rohan. They found what they think is the perfect place, this beautiful, spacious bungalow that seems to hold all their dreams for a brand new chapter. And Samir, well, he's a man of logic, so he hears these warnings and he does what a lot of us would probably do. He just laughs. Haunted? Come on. He figures it's just old superstitions, the kind of spooky stories that always get attached to big old houses. But as they start to settle in, that shiny dream begins to tarnish. The excitement of their new life slowly starts to curdle into this quiet, creeping dread. The whispers in the walls are about to start. At first, this seems like a great thing. I mean, kids can get lonely in a new place. Suman is actually thrilled that Rohan's found a little playmate so quickly.
There's just one problem. Nobody has ever seen this new friend. Rohan will be playing and talking with him for hours, but the second Suman walks into the room, he's gone. So the big question is, who exactly is Raju?
For Suman, this whole mystery with Raju is just the beginning. She starts hearing things. A faint cry, like a child, coming from a room she knows is empty. The little pitter-patter of feet running across the roof late at night. She'll put her keys on the table, turn around for a second, and suddenly they're on the floor. It's all these small things you could easily explain away, but when you put them all together, she starts to get that constant, unnerving feeling of being watched.
And this is what's really terrifying for her. She's completely alone in this. When she finally gets up the courage to tell Samir, he just dismisses it all. It's just your imagination, Suman. This is an old house. They make noises. She's left to face her growing fear all by herself.
But then, a discovery. Something hidden away for decades. Something that will finally prove Suman isn't imagining things, and unearth the diary's dark, dark secret. Tucked away in a dusty old storeroom, almost like it was waiting for her, she finds a small diary. The pages are all yellow and brittle, and the writing inside is this desperate, looping script.
And this is the tragedy the diary reveals. Decades ago, a mother lived in this very house with her young son. His name was Raju. After Raju died from a sudden illness, his heartbroken mother passed away in the house just a year later. Two souls bound to this place forever by grief.
So, this is the crucial part. The haunting isn't just one ghost, it's two. There's a lonely little boy, Raju, who is desperate for a friend. And then there's his mother, a fiercely protective spirit, forever watching over her son.
With this discovery, everything changes. Those quiet whispers, they become a roar. The haunting is no longer this passive thing in the background. It is now an active, terrifying battle for a soul. And the final showdown starts right here. Suman walks into Rohan's room and finds him just standing there, staring at a blank wall, deep in conversation with his friend, Raju.
When Suman asks what he's doing, Rohan turns to her, his eyes are wide, and he says the absolute worst thing a parent could ever hear. Raju is inside the wall. He wants me to come play with him forever.
And then the unthinkable happens. Suman watches, completely horrified, as some invisible force grabs her son and starts dragging him inch by inch towards the solid wall. He's literally being pulled into nothing.
But then, something else happens. A second force starts fighting back. As Raju's spirit pulls Rohan, his mother's protective spirit pushes back, trying to save the little boy. It's this supernatural tug of war, and Rohan's soul as the prize. Suman does not wait to see who wins. Her parental instinct just takes over completely. She lunges, she grabs Rohan, she screams for Samir, and they do the only thing they possibly can. They run. Straight out the door, into the night, and they do not look back.
The frantic battle is over, and in its place, there's just this deafening, cold silence left behind.
And that's how their story ends, just as abruptly as their escape. They never went back. Not for clothes, not for furniture, not for a single memory. They abandoned their entire life there, choosing to save themselves over any possession.
So you have to wonder, right? How many times do they go back for their things? The answer is 0. Not once. Everything they owned was a small price to pay to get away.
And so, bungalow number 17 remains, silent, vacant, holding on to its secrets, and just waiting for the next family, and maybe a new playmate for Raju.
Which leaves all of us with one final question. If you were standing right there on the doorstep of your absolute dream home, and someone warned you it was haunted, would you have believed them, or would you have walked right in?